Welcome back to the LEC in the latest iteration of G2 versus Fnatic rivalry. Fnatic comes out on top, and I'm joined by Wunder about to hear more about this victory. Wunder, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does feel like a bit of a tell us all this time. You know, no matter how many players change, it does feel like G2 and Fnatic rivalry always brings that extra layer of hype or perhaps stake. So you played both sides of the rivalry. So how does it feel to play it out on the Fnatic side and this time also win it?
I mean, of course, this time it's different because in the past, when I played for G2, I only really, my part in the rivalry was like winning for caps or winning for whoever left the team and then joined ours. Now I'm kind of in that position, so now I want to win against my old team, and I also want to win against my old teammates. So in the past, I'd say the rivalry didn't matter as much. Of course, like there's always, it's like a historic matchup, so there's always going to be added pressure. Now it was on stage today as well, so it's, of course it means a lot, and now it changed because I'm on Fnatic and I'm not the guy having to win for my teammates, but rather I just have to win for my own sake.
Like, you did mention in previous interviews that you were really looking forward to G2. Now that you have enacted your revenge, like, how does it feel? Was it as sweet as you imagined, perhaps?
I mean, at the moment we are 1-1, right? And it's regular split, and we are kind of even in the standings. I'd say both of our teams have our strengths and weaknesses. So yeah, I mean, we'll see at playoffs. I'd say my real revenge will come by playoffs, right? And right now, I think, I mean, today was a good win. I think all my teammates performed really well. I was getting targeted a little bit, and I had to like play a bit more defensive or not really show like some lane dominance, you know, just get pushed in and take it slow. But I'm happy my team had my back today at least.
Speaking of your role in the game, really briefly, you played Camille today, and we've been seeing more and more Camille being played in top lane, not only in the LEC but in other leagues. Can you tell me more about the role of Camille in the current meta that seems to be so dominated by Jace at the moment?
Yeah, I think Camille has, Camille's strength is that she can kind of survive any matchup. She doesn't really get super punished. She also has the Hullbreaker thing building now, and of course she likes to be on the side lane, likes to, well, basically that item just works for her, right? Today we had a TF2, and I think usually when you see a Camille, it's paired with like TF, Ryze, Galio, one of these three champions that can kind of like help her snowball the game as well. I'd say some of her weaknesses compared to the earlier iterations of Camille when we saw her in the meta is that her wave clear is not as good, so she is kind of stuck just really slow at pushing out a side lane, and she can't really group as much with her teammates as, for example, a Jace can, or Graves, as you see right now, who just one-shots every wave, farms every jungle camp, and can group with his team as well at the same time. So yeah, I'd say Camille is good has like some strengths, but also like clear weaknesses.
Okay. And this is my final question. Earlier in the interview, you mentioned that you're quite happy with your own performance as well as your teammates. And it's been a bit of a chaotic last 2 weeks for LEC. Rogue no longer being, defeatless. A lot of upsets happening. But what is your expectation for Fnatic for the rest of 2022 spring? What is your ceiling?
I mean, I think we are all really good players, and we have our off games. Yesterday was an off game. I'd say yesterday, if we tried to be a little bit more calm in the game and we let everyone else. Well, if someone is having a bad game, sometimes we're really bad at maybe letting someone else carry or let someone else take the torch, and lead us to victory. I think yesterday that could have been me, for example. I think I had a really good game, but it was really hard to bounce back from what happened earlier in the game against Astralis. So I'd say sometimes we just have like some slip-ups, just like any team. But I mean, in the standing-wise, I think we're doing okay right now, and I think we're all really good players. And in theory, I think we should be able to win everything.
And I'll certainly look forward to more of it. But thank you so much for this interview, Wunder, and best of luck for the rest of the 2022 LEC.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.